What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here to do two looks with the new Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet palette. I have to be honest with you guys, when I saw this palette announced, I was really on the fence about the theme. First and foremost, because to me, purple eyeshadows are kind of a throwback. Neutrals with a pop of purple is very like early 2000s, like maybe early 2010s-ish. Second reason I was a little bit skeptical is because, I don't know, there's just like a little piece of me that just hates purples. I don't know why. I like the color purple, but I'm just hesitant to like work with purples on my eyes for some reason. I don't know why. I've always been this way, and it's weird because I really do truly like that color in life. It's strange. But I posted about it on my Instagram story, which if you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing a lot of things on my story. I'm just saying. And when I posted about it, the responses that I got from you guys, some of you were echoing the same sentiment that I had without me even saying it. A few of you pointed out that the shades in here actually have a lot of like duochromes, and it is a little bit more interesting than when you first peek at it. I started to get a little bit excited, and when I received it in PR, I knew obviously that I was going to do looks with it because among the responses were a million requests for looks as well. So I knew I was going to do something with it, and I was excited to work with it because I wanted to see if those of you who were pointing out that it might have been more interesting than I thought it was were right. No spoilers or anything, but like, I mean, you was kind of right. I also want to say, every time I do two looks with a full-size palette, I get questions about why I only did two, because you guys are kind of accustomed to expecting three, and quite frankly, the answer is because I don't have time to do three right now, while also getting out the other videos that I want to complete this week. I got a lot of stuff in PR all at one time that I was really excited to work with. So in order to actually make the videos that I want to make this week, I'm gonna have to cut this one down to two. I will try to use it again in another video and get more looks out with it, maybe like a would you rather video or a palette bingo or something like that. But for now, we're doing two. Before we get into both of those looks, please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind, because it's cool when you do and it helps me and I like it. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can be around for more videos, because I think that'd be a good time. I think you'd like it. I would like it. What's the harm? You know? It's fine. It's gonna be good. You're gonna have a good time. As always, I will timestamp each look in the description. I will also list everything that I use on my face in the description if you have any questions. If I ever forget to put anything down there that you were interested in, just kindly bust my balls about it in the comments and I will add it as soon as I realize what I have done. That's it. That's all you need to know before we get started. So let's just get into look number one with the new Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet palette. Alright, to start the first look, I am going to go into the shade Mind Slip. I think this might be a little bit too light for what I want to use it for, but I also think that it's on the warmer side, so I'm going to use it to put a little bit of warmth down before we start to deepen the crease a bit. So picking that up on my BH number 7, I'm just going to work it through my crease, keeping it toward the higher side of the crease and like right up toward my eyebrow. Next, I'm going to grab a BH number 7, and I'm going to go into the shade Hacked, and I'm going to use that to deepen up the crease just a little bit. I'm bringing that down right around the outer corner of my eye, kind of like in a circular C shape, not trying to make it like a winged outer corner, but I do want the lid to have something to blend out into over there, so just make our life easier later to have that down already. For the mobile lid, I'm gonna go in with a black base. You could use any dark cream or liquid eyeshadow that you have. I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit one because it's just one I have laying around. You could use like a NYX Jumbo Black Bean pencil or something like that. That's old school. That's what we used to use back in the day. They do work though. I'm gonna pop that liquid shadow right over most of the lid, starting at the lashes so I don't like get too much of it everywhere, and then just blending it out with a flat brush. This is I don't know what it is. Oh, it's just a random Coastal Scents brush. I guess it doesn't matter. Just anything with a slightly flat shape that you can tap that shade out with. Bring it right toward your crease. Just kind of like blasting over the edge of it real quick can be very helpful. Next, I'm going to grab a NABLA large blender brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Purple Dust, and I'm going to put that down over the whole lid where we put down the black. Just going to pack that down, and I'm packing that right up to the edge of that black, even into the crease, because we're going to blend it together with that in just a moment's time. On my BH number 7 again, I'm going to go into the shade Digital. This shade is a little bit deeper, but it's kind of satin. It's not ideal for the crease area, but I think it should help us blend these darker shades into the crease colors a little bit, so that's what I'm going for. And that actually works just lovely. It's not so satin that it looks weird in the crease, you know? Next, I'm going to grab this MAC 228 brush and I'm going to go into the shade Lucid. Now, Lucid is kind of a transformer shade with a green shift to it, which is a very interesting addition to this palette. Honestly, this is the shade that made me go, okay. And I'm going to take this shade and pack it right in the center of the lid over that dark purple as like a green highlight over the purple. Ooh, I already like that. I'm gonna tap over it with my finger to blend it in a little bit more, back with the brush, and kind of go back and forth with that until I'm satisfied with the intensity and the blend. I concealed and powdered, and for the lower lash line, I'm going to go through the waterline with the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in the color Delinquent. It's a nice deep plummy purple shade. This is not part of this collection, it's just a pencil from them that I happen to have that I thought would go well. I'm gonna run it through the waterline, but I'm also going to drag it under the lower lashes and smudge it in as a base for the other shadows to go over. I'm just smudging that in with a pencil brush. And with that same pencil brush, I'm gonna go back into the shade Purple Dust again. And I'm gonna drag it under the lower lashes, right where I put down that pencil. Let that grip right onto that sticky pencil base. This shade doesn't necessarily need a base, but I wanted that like deep, rich, sultry effect, and I also wanted something dark for like the duochrome to pop over. So that's why I went with that. I'll use less dark bases in the next look so we can test how these shimmers work without that. I'm gonna take my BH number 7 again and go back into the shade Hacked and use that to blend out the edge of that purple a little bit so it matches the top better. And on that same MAC 228 brush, I'm gonna go back into the shade Lucid and pop it in the center just like I did at the top. And I'm going to use the same pencil brush that I used to put down the purple just to blend the edges of that in. Finally, on a clean pencil brush, I'm going to go into the shade Euphoric and I'm going to use that to highlight the inner corner without being like too bright that it overtakes the deepness and richness of this look. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm just going back in with a little bit more Purple Dust on that same pencil brush if I kind of got it too far onto the lid, which I did. Okay, I finished up my skin and I popped on House of Lash's Juliette Lash. Now for the lip, I want to do something mostly neutral, but I think it'll be fun to incorporate one of Urban Decay's more greeny purple shifting glosses, which they just so happen to have, just so happen to be sitting right here on my desk over that because it's very subtle but still like a little nod to the theme. So I'm gonna line my lips with the Urban Decay lip pencil in the color Liar, and then I'm just gonna go over mostly just the center. Maybe I'll take it all the way out to the sides, but I'm gonna concentrate it in the center with the Hi-Fi Shine gloss in the color Disco Clean. I wore this the other day over a dark burgundy lipstick. Oh my god, did it look good? And then I immediately realized that I had to take it off because I needed to go to the store and I had to put a mask on, and that sucks. And this is the first look. All right, for look number 2, I have half a plan. Now, anybody who's an expert in planning things will tell you that half a plan is a really bad idea, but I do it all the time, and you know what? It usually works out just fine. I'm gonna grab my BH number 6, and I'm gonna go into the shade Hacked, and I'm gonna start using Hacked through the whole crease, concentrating it more on the inner corner, and then fading it out towards the end. This is the half that I have planned. And again, as I've done quite a lot recently, I'm bringing that up really close to the brow on the inner corner. Some people hate when I do that and are very vocal about it on Instagram, but you know what? I like it because I feel like it makes your eyelid look bigger, you know? It looks like it's deeper over there or something. It's a good look and I like it. I'm just gonna blend the edge of that out with a clean blending brush. On a BH number 7, I'm gonna go into the shade Warning, which is kind of like this pinky purple. It has a little bit of shimmer, but we're gonna use it around the crease area anyway. Breaking the rules today, you know? Just kind of using that as a color for another purple to blend out into in a moment. Ooh, that's actually a pretty color though. That's so much more interesting than I thought it was gonna be. It's kind of got like a little blue shift to it. All right. Next, I'm going to repeat the same process, but I'm grabbing a smaller brush. This is a Sigma E36, and I'm going to go into the purple shade Cyberpunk, putting that right in the same area, but just keeping it even more concentrated this time. And you're probably thinking, Nicole, you're really breaking the rules here by putting shimmer through your crease. But I would argue that this isn't even my real crease, so it doesn't count. So I'm going to blend over the outside edge of that a lot with a clean brush just to really make sure it tapers off. I want a little bit more depth in the inner portion of that crease. So I'm going to take my Sigma E36 again, and I'm going to go into the shade Digital, and I'm going to just run that a little bit on the most inner part just to make sure that this is good and darkened up, because I am going to cut the crease on the inner corner in a second, and I want to make sure that it pops. Now, to cut the crease today, I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I usually do. So I'm going to grab my regular concealer that I use for the rest of my face, the color of my own ass skin. The reason I'm choosing to do that is because I'm going to use the shade VR in here. When I've seen other people use VR, it almost looks like a wash of shimmer over bare skin. So I kind of wanted to recreate that effect, except that I want it to be on a cut crease. So I'm going to cut the crease with the color of my skin and trick you all, trick every one of you. So I'm going to take my regular color of my Urban Decay Stay Naked Concealer on a NABLA Cut Crease Maker brush, and I'm going to cut the inner corner with that. So I'm going to grab my MAC 242, and I'm going to go into that shade VR, which is a neutral with a little bit of a green and purple-ish shift to it, which is right up my freaking alley. I'm going to pat that right over where I put down that concealer. See what I mean about how that's kind of like almost like a skin tone wash of color, but it's like so shimmery and pretty. I like it. Because I don't know when enough is enough, I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna take a little tiny bit of the shade Lucid and just pop that right in the center as a little bit of a highlight, pat it in with my finger. I don't want it to overtake the look, I just kind of wanted to bring the center of the lid out a little bit more. That's what I'm doing. For the lower lash line, I want to keep the waterline more open. So I'm going to grab my Benefit Roller Eye Bright and just go through the waterline with that. Just poked a huge chunk of it off. It fell right into my eyeball. That didn't work out well at all. Yep, there we go. Oh, before I continue with the lower lash line, I wanted to do something on the inner corner and I almost forgot. I want to use the shade Optimized. I just realized that it's like a matte lavender and I didn't notice that it was a matte and maybe a nice matte inner corner highlight until just now. I'm thinking it's going to look pretty good in there. So I'm going to pop that right on the inner corner. Ooh, I like that. That's fun. I'm going to grab my BH number 7 again and go back into the shade Hacked. I'm going to run that under the lower lashes, just on the outer half though. Just give a little bit of soft definition out there. And on a small smudger brush, I'm going to go into the shade Digital and I'm going to put just a tiny bit of that right along the lower lashes toward the outer corner. I put on the same house of lashes, Juliette, Natalia, girl, who are you? Juliette, they're Juliette. I finished up my skin and now I'm going to add a lip. And for the lip, I want, because we did like a little bit of like more of like a soft look here, I kind of want to continue with that soft feel because I'm into it right now. I like the way it's pairing with the rest of my head, you know? So I'm going to grab one of my favorite lip pencils again. This is Bodyography Heatherberry, and this time I'm going to top it with a little bit more of a colorful gloss. Well, not colorful, it's kind of the same color as this, but it's not clear. Last time I used clear. This is one of my favorite glosses. This is the BUXOM gloss in the shade Dolly. I love their glosses so much, and I specifically always reach for this shade for some reason. So I'm thinking because this is my favorite pencil, then this will be quite the combination. I mean, it adds up, right? And this is the second look. All right, so what do we think? What do we know? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? It just started thundering outside, so I hope that doesn't become too distracting in the next couple of minutes. Also, the light keeps changing because clouds are coming. Storm's coming, hatchet coming. Honestly, my skepticism has passed, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think this palette, I kind of fucking really like it. I was a naysayer. I was like purples and neutrals, what is it, 2013? Come on now. But you know what? They're like really nice purples, and the neutrals work really well with the purples, and everything performed really well, and I really liked the duochromes in there, and if I'm being real honest, I could see myself reaching for this quite often. Now, as far as naked palettes are concerned, first of all, I have never really encountered a naked palette that I didn't like the formulas in. I always liked that formula. They are not extreme in their pigment, but they're very consistent. They're very easy to work with, and they're usually very buildable. So it's not like a Norvina palette or a Melt Cosmetics palette where you get like punched in the puss with color. Like, if you want that level of color, you usually have to build up to it a little bit more. It's not just like dip your brush in and bam, it's on your face, but it also is buildable. So if you want to get there, you can, without being patchy or weird, but also you can get something a little bit softer, which kind of makes it more user-friendly for those of us who are not makeup experts. As far as the shades in here are concerned, the only color I don't think I used was this satin bone color Trippin', so oh, I also didn't use Dazed, so I'm just going to swatch those two on my fingers for you guys so you can get an idea of what they look like. But quite frankly, those are some of the plainest in this palette, so I don't think they're super important anyway. Everything else in here, I felt like they played really nicely together. They were more fun and interesting than I was initially expecting them to be. Everything had like a very like ultraviolet glowy finish to it, and you know what? I'm gonna not ever be such a skeptical ass hater ass bitch again, because I really like it. Well done, Urban Decay. You proved my ass wrong. I know a lot of you guys were very excited for the shade Lucid because you thought that was the most interesting in here, and I got quite a few questions in my DMs asking if Lucid is as nice on the lid as it is in the pan, and can confirm I actually think it's nicer on the lid than it is in the pan. I really like that shade a lot. Now, that being said, if you don't like purple, then clearly this is not the palette for you, but if you do like purple, then I think you'll be very pleased. It's a fun time. I'm gonna leave it on my desk and probably wear it for the rest of the week, if we're being real. I think that maybe if I had one complaint, if I had to make one up, I'm not really making it up, but if I had to like really shoehorn in a complaint, I think instead of digital being a satin shade, I would like a dark shade that's a true matte. But that being said, digital worked just fine in place of a matte because it's like very, very slightly satinish. I just always like to have one really dark matte in a palette because I feel like it helps to make other things work. You know what I mean? Anyways, leave me a comment down below. Do you disagree with me? Because I feel like a lot of people might disagree with me on this one. Were you skeptical to begin with? Were you pumped to begin with? Because things were really split, to be honest. I was shocked at how split they were. Have you picked it up? Whatever your experience is, whatever your thoughts are, leave me a comment down below. Let me know. I would love to hear about it, even if we disagree. Just be nice about it and I'll be cool about it and we can talk about it and it's going to be great. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, if you found it helpful, if it helped you make a decision on whether or not you want this palette. Leave a like. I would appreciate it, and it's not a hard thing to accomplish. It's one little click away for you, and it's endless fun for me. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe because I would love to have you around for more videos. I would love to have people to chat with in the comments. It's a good thing, and I think you would enjoy it too. Also, if you want to keep up with me between these videos, if you want to know what's going on in this channel and generally just see a little bit more of like the real who the me is, that's where I post pretty much everything that I do all of the time. If that sounds like it would appeal to you, then go find me on Instagram. I'm at Ms. Queenface, and I would love to have you over there as well. I don't think there's anything else I need to say before we wrap up this video today. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.